How you doing, guys? Welcome to a new episode of Baseball for Maniacs. As you can see, my buddy Ryan isn't here. This is going to be a little solo pod, just going over the Adolis Garcia signing. Me and Ryan are going to start doing these a little more often when a move kind of affects one of our favorite teams, whether that's me for the Phillies or him for the Red Sox. Just to kind of give you guys a deep dive. If you're a Phillies fan, obviously you'd come for this episode. If you're a Red Sox fan, if they ever make a signing, you're going to go for that video. So let's just dive right into it. I love the move personally. That energy, the post that I posted on my TikTok when he hit the game tying home run against Baltimore, that energy just feeds Philly. Like, there's been some talk about this team needs some culture, just a bunch of white guys, and I definitely agree. He's going to slot in right field. He's going to play every day in right field. And I've been seeing a lot of, this is just another Nick Castellanos. This is not another Nick Castellanos. Let's just go over a few stats, and then we'll just kind of get into the weeds of a personal opinion. Adolis last year, he had a down year, but he still accumulated 2.7 WAR. Nick Castellanos has negative 0.8. Now, whether you like WAR or not, I think WAR is a really good stat to kind of determine a player's value. OPS plus. Now, people are saying Castellanos is a better hitter, but Adolis Garcia is a better defender. Well, not really. If you look at OPS plus, the league average is 100. They both were under that. Nick Castellanos had an 88. Adolis Garcia had a 93. 93 is better than 88. Math is math. And then outs above average, Nick Castellanos was a minus 12. Adolis Garcia was a plus 1. And I don't want this episode to be just a let's crap on Nick Castellanos. Look, obviously he did not live up to the contract, but he had some incredible moments in 2023, 2024. He had that big hit against Dodgers in Game 4. I like Cassie, just didn't work out. This year was really tough. In Miami getting benched, him and Rob obviously didn't like each other. It's just time to move on. And then this obviously seals that fate. Now, I think it's leaning towards they're just going to cut him because from the reports you're hearing, whether it's like Jim Salisbury, Matt Gelb, they're begging teams to take him. And if they just signed Adolis, they have no leverage. So I think he's just going to get outright released. I wish him the best. Maybe he picks up on a team. He's a Miami Marlin to me. He just really is. But Adolis Garcia is a clear upgrade over Nick Castellanos. At his floor, he's one of the best defensive right fielders in the game. Nick Castellanos in right field for all those sliding grabs in the playoffs, which were phenomenal, whether it was Game 1 against the Braves in 2022, Game 1 against the Astros in the World Series. He had big moments, big catches, but man, he could just not get to a ball. He has no range. So you put Adolis in there. Adolis has a cannon in right. And dude, bounce back year, man. On a 1 year prove it year deal. I could see him in CBP with some protection around him in the lineup going off. If he's a 750 OPS player, dude, you got an absolute steal for that. Now next, where does he hit in the lineup? Right now, I just posted an ideal lineup. If everything stays the same, I think he's going to bat fourth. I just don't think there's a better option for. You can't run out Alec Boehm for the third straight year protecting Bryce Harper. Granted, Boehmer did have a good playoffs. He got a few hits. He walked a lot. He had a good playoffs. But, dude, he's not a four-hitter. Now, if you're going to tell me Alec Boehm is going to bat sixth or seventh for your team, dude, sign me up all day for that. But if Boehm stays, I think Adolis is going to bat four. Because what other option do you have? You're not going to put JT at four even if you resign him. JT had a 700 OPS season. He struggled mightily. Had a good stretch, I believe. It was June through August. And then he cooled down substantially. So my ideal lineup. Now this is if Bader gets re-signed, and we'll get into the outfield situation of what I think they're going to do going forward. But this is if Bader re-signs and JT resigns. I got Trey leading off. I got Schwarber batting second. Don't change if it ain't broke. He had 56 homers. I got Bryce batting third. I got Adolis Garcia batting fourth. Then I got Bader fifth. And then I got Stotty sixth just to mix up the righties and lefties. Seventh, I'm going to go Boehmer. Love the seventh spot for Boehmer if he stays. Eighth is going to be JT. Ninth is going to be Justin Crawford. And then let's go to the outfield alignment. So some people I saw were like, okay, this means Bader's gone. Not necessarily. So Adolis is going to play right field every day, and Justin Crawford's going to play every day, whether it's center field or left field. If Bader signs somewhere else, you're looking like Marsh is going to be in left field. He'll get a platoon partner, whether that's a Rob Refsnyder. Obviously, Ryan knows about him. And then center field is going to be Justin Crawford. I just don't like that because if you ever watch Justin Crawford in Lehigh Valley with the Iron Pigs, and if you have, that means you're one of the good fans. Like, you really dive into it, so I appreciate it. He's just a much better defensive left fielder. He's fast, but he just doesn't get the reads on balls that a pure center fielder should, like a Rojas, like a Bader. So you put him in left. If you re-sign Bader, I think that gives you an elite defensive outfield to where it has not been in previous years. Do they trade Brandon Marsh? I think they already know the answer because I think they know what the market is. They've obviously talked to him. Not that they're shopping him around, but they have an idea what his trade market is. So I think the front office already knows whether they're going to bring Bader back or not, just based on the Marsh trade value. Because if you bring Bader back and Marsh has not the trade value you think, then you're kind of shopping him at a lowered value because everyone knows, well, you got 3 outfield spots for 4 players. Why would we give up one of our top prospects? Why would we give up another decent major leaguer when we know Marsh doesn't have a spot to play? If you sign Bader, he's going to play center field every day. The contract he's getting is to play every day, whether that's with Philly or somewhere else. Now, what do I want them to do? I think if you've seen my TikTok, if you've seen the podcast, you know exactly what I want them to do. I want them to re-sign Harrison Bader. I want him to play center every day. Justin Crawford in left field every day. Adolis Garcia in right every day. Enough of this platoon crap. It worked. It works in the regular season, but when you come in the playoffs, dude, it doesn't. It just does not work. And but it also lies on the point, like, do they have a decent trade lineup for Brandon Marsh? Because I don't want to just give him away for nothing. Because for all the crap Brandon Marsh gets, when he's used properly, which is a platoon role, he only faces right-handed pitching, he does substantially well. He has a career OPS over 800 against right-handed pitching. And he is a gold glove left fielder. Center field is a completely different scenario. He sucks in center field. He's timid on balls in. He doesn't get the jumps. But if you put him in left, he's a good player. So I think in the coming days, and maybe like a week or so, we're going to have our idea who's going to be our center fielder. If you see a Brandon Marsh trade, you know Harrison Bader's coming back. Now, where Dave Dombrowski has to tier the line is which comes first. Because if you trade Marsh, then Bader can be like, oh, well, you need me now, so the market is going to go up. But it has to be it has to be done effectively and quick. Now, Bader's market has dropped substantially. Yankees might have been a team. They gave Trent Grisham the qualifying offer. They got Spencer Jones. They got Jason Dominguez. Obviously, Aaron Judge. They're not going to sign Harrison Bader. The Royals were a big candidate for Harrison Bader. Also, Nick Castellanos. There was rumors about him at the trade deadline going to Kansas City. They just got Lane Thomas. They just got Isaac Collins from the Brewers. They're out on Harrison Bader. And I heard that they're still in on Jarren Duran. I don't believe that for a second. I think their outfield's set. I think they fleeced Milwaukee with that trade. But nevertheless, Harrison Bader's not going to go to the Royals. The Mets are an option. He was there in 2024. He struggled, but obviously great clubhouse guy. They talk about run prevention. Like, that's the main thing Stearns harped on at the end of year press conference. Obviously letting Pete go. Now, granted, Jorge Polanco is your first baseman. He's only played 1 inning at first base his entire MLB career. That's cause for concern, question. But the Mets are an option. But besides that, I think his market's drying up. So I think he may have overplayed his hand when he's wanted a 3-year deal. Now, me personally, I thought he was going to get that, so I can't really fault him. Which just goes to show you, it's either going to be Bader in center, Crawford in left, or it's going to be Crawford in center and then Marsh in left in the platoon role. And you got to think, they hyped up Otto Kemp. So I think if Marsh stays, Otto Kemp's going to be his platoon partner. Otto Kemp's going to make league minimum. Brandon Marsh is going to make about $5 million. Okay, your left fielder's $5. Wow. $5 million, and then Justin Crawford's making league minimum, so under $6 million for a left fielder and a center fielder. compared to about 15 million, which Bader would be, and then league minimum roughly around 16 million. So you're looking about a $10 million difference for the two. Does that come into play, like when they're re-signing JT? Did John Middleton give Dave Dombrowski a strict budget? These are questions we don't know now, but we will once we see the moves that happen. If they re-sign JT and they don't go after Bader, they made the decision it's JT over Bader. I don't agree with that. I think giving JT a 3-year deal or even a 2-year deal with a high AV is a mistake. Granted, he's one of the best defensive catchers in baseball. Obviously, we get that. We know what he does with the glove. We know what he does with the pitching staff. He's phenomenal. But the Phillies made a similar mistake. If you ever watched the Philly show, Ruben Amaro Jr. on it, Jim Salisbury, Todd Zalecki, I would give that show a watch. It's really good. Ruben Amaro said he gave Carlos Ruiz a 3-year deal and he regrets it. He wished he went 2 years. Now, granted, whatever the market was, the market was. But we saw what the Phillies did in that era. They hung on to their players way too long. Now, I'm not saying just give JT up. I'm not saying you don't want to resign him. But there comes a point where his market is not worth the production he's going to produce, even like on the tail end. I think 15 million is a lot. Now, in an ideal world, you bring JT back, you bring Bader back, money's not an option. Let's go win a World Series. But there comes a point, like, owners just can't keep spending. We always want to say, spend, spend, spend. These are businessmen. John Middleton is one of the best baseball owners. I think he's the best owner in sports, really. He's great. He loves the game. But he still has investors. He still works for, people work for him. You can't just spend, spend, spend. It's not like Steve Cohen. And even he's not spending now. Maybe he just got his casino and said, screw it to the Mets, which would be hilarious. But there comes a budget. But I really think JT, I'd pick Bader over JT, and I would just let it rock. Go get a platoon partner or whatever. Get someone that's going to catch half the games. Just let it be the 9-hole, and let's bring back Harrison Bader. But it's going to be very interesting what they do in the coming days. If I had to give an actual prediction of what they're going to do, I think they're going to let Bader walk. I think JT's going to be coming back. I think they're going to roll with Marsh in left, platoon partner Crawford in center. Do I love it? No, just because I'm a big Bader guy. But I do think Adolis Garcia was a really good move. It's a 1-year deal. It's $10 million. He's what Max Kepler was last year, but I think his upside substantially is more than Max Kepler ever was. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited. If the Bader signing comes in or if the JT signing comes in, obviously I'll probably do a solo pod. I'll break that down for you guys. But the next episode with me and Ryan, I think we're going to just do our top 5 favorite playoff games. Mine for the Phillies, his for the Red Sox, unless some breaking news comes in. But I'm going to start doing some of these solo pods more, especially when the season starts. I'm going to start doing game reviews, series reviews, all that kind of stuff. Ryan will probably do the same for the Red Sox. But let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comments, and you guys have a good one. Bye.